Hey all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south, more specifically, Dillard, Georgia. And if you take a look behind me, we have a little trailer with a silo next to it. I used to know the gentleman that lived here. I think it's pretty obvious that he does not live there anymore. I know because he used to decorate the door with all sorts of clippings and writings and whatnot. See, I used to work over here in Dillard, just up the road, probably a mile, half a mile. From there, we have the Dillard House, where I used to work when I first moved here in early 2000s. I worked up there. It's a family style, southern cooking restaurant, and the man that lived in that trailer, his name was Donnie. He was the dishwasher at the Dillard House. He would dress from head to toe in camouflage, a little camouflage hat. He wore a little sheriff's badge, which is meaningful to him because he was the sheriff of dishwashing, I think he called himself. But very proud of his work, what he did. And, you know, when you started working with him, he was an older man, probably in his 50s. If that's older, I'm sorry. My parents are in their 50s, so at the time he was about my parents' age. And he would, he'd get really worked up when we would get really busy. He would be moving the dishes, just swearing under his breath, just with his dead gaze in his eyes and just swearing. I was like, ugh, we should stay away from this guy. But then there was one time that I was over there by the dishwasher, and they have like a tub where you're supposed to throw your silverware before you put your dishes in the dishwasher. And I saw someone toss a sharp knife in there, like a kitchen knife, and Donnie had his head turned. So I reached down in there, grabbed the knife, and then when Donnie turned around, I said, someone threw this in there. Be careful. And from that point on, he immediately warmed up to me. I had earned his trust by saving him from severing his hand. And so yeah, he always fashioned himself as a comedian. So he'd always want to tell me new jokes. Oh, and he called me Radar because he thought I looked like Radar from MASH. I looked a little more like Radar when I had a little bit of hair, but so he called me Radar, and he'd say some off-color jokes. Remember, he would say, "Hey Radar, did you hear about the new scientific study?" I'd be like, "No, what are you talking about?" He's like, "They've scientifically proven makes your teeth rot out." And then he would reach into his mouth, and he had all false teeth. He'd pull his teeth out, hold them up in the air, and just give a ridiculous, toothless smile. And I remember he'd always say, if Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny aren't real, then God and Jesus don't stand a chance. So, suffice to say, a very, very colorful character. And one year, we had our company Christmas party, and Donnie kind of saw this like his big break. He was gonna perform at the Christmas party. He played the bongos, the hand drums. He went to the party and performed. He had a backtrack. He brought this big ghetto blaster boombox, played a backtrack, and went to town on the bongos. And remember, before his performance, he dedicated his performance to the victims of 9/11 and to the R&B singer Aaliyah, who had recently died at the time. And he pounded on those drums for what seemed like hours. He had a microphone. He leaned into to almost like to sing, but he never actually sang. But he went at those bongos for years, and he was he told me later he was so proud. He was so proud of his performance. And it's, you know, it's, see someone happy with themselves. It's you know, it's warming. And so I worked as a waiter most of the time there, but I did get promoted to be a nighttime security guard there. And it was like this unspoken rule that if you were on security at night, you were the one that took Donnie home. He would, he had pain in his legs and his feet, so he didn't have a driver's license, so you'd have to walk the distance from the restaurant to that trailer back there. He'd always come to me, he's like, man, I really need a ride home tonight. My dogs are barking. That's what he always said. And it was actually against the rules. We weren't allowed to take Donnie home, but we did anyways because that was what you did. That was the right thing to do. Now, I did mention that, you know, one of Donnie's true soft spots is he was an animal lover, and he loved cats. He had a cat named Damien that died, and he got a scorpion tattooed on his arm. He showed it to me. He told me that he could not think of anything besides a scorpion that would define Damien more, that would encapsulate Damien and his personality more. So very much a cat lover. And the other security guard that did the opposite shift with me, he was driving Donnie home one day, and they accidentally ran over a cat. And this had a profound effect on Donnie. Every time that we were driving back to his house, that exact spot that he ran over the cat, Donnie would let out a meow. He would make a meow in honor of the deceased cat that they had accidentally run over. If Donnie was talking to you, he would stop mid-sentence and let out that meow at that exact same spot every night. Remember, every night he would talk to me about his favorite radio show, which was House of Hair with Dee Snider. He loved music. He loved jam bands and heavy metal. And anyway, the next year, I talked about the Christmas party with the bongos. The next year, he was very excited. He wanted to top his performance from the year before. So he practiced all year. He talked to me all year about what he had planned for his performance at the yearly Christmas party. Now, most of the people we worked with were pretty young kids. Some of them still in high school, some of them just started college, people around that age. And the management at the Dillard House said that we could not have alcohol at our Christmas party. Because of this, everyone kind of scheduled an alternate party where there would be alcohol, and not a single person showed up for the company Christmas party. Not one, well, one person. I take that back. One person showed up for the employee Christmas party. And that person was Donnie. Donnie had took in the day off so he could prepare, and he walked from his trailer back up to the Dillard house carrying his bongos. And when he got there, the room that we had the Christmas party in, it was locked because everyone had left. The security had canceled the party. No one showed up. So the party was canceled. Donnie was standing there with his bongos. No one had told Donnie that there was a separate party or where that party was. And Donnie walked home. He told me this. He walked home carrying his bongos, sobbing for what he felt was the biggest slight of his lifetime. And man, that image, that still gets me to this day. He was so mad. He was so mad. I was working, or I was out of town. I wasn't there, and I had no intention of going to either Christmas party, so I was not involved. But he told me, he cussed them, everyone, up and down. He felt total and utter betrayal. And my employment at the Dillard house actually ended rather abruptly when I had a falling out with the magnificent John Dillard Sr., who I will not speak ill of the dead, but we did not agree on a situation, and I left rather abruptly. So I never got a chance to say goodbye to Donnie, and it's been over 10 years ago. It's clear he's not living in that trailer up there. I don't know where he is. I don't know what happened to him. I've looked him up on the internet, no trace of that. Of course, I doubt he would ever use the internet, so I don't know what happened to him. But I'll certainly never forget him. You never forget people like that. People who are odd, people who are different, but at the same time, people like that are some of the honest, most real people that you come across. People that are just themselves instead of what they feel they need to be. So, if you're out there, Donnie, just want to let you know, you made a big impression on me. You're a good man. You made an impression on me. I'll never forget you. And I hope, wherever you are, I hope you're doing better than you were when you were in this town. Appreciate you guys watching.